Now there is one more way to do the CAN communication via CAN controllers, that is via the FIFO buffer. So what we do, we configure a memory section of a memory message buffer as a FIFO buffer, and over here we do a buffer is created, and on that buffer only a CAN transmission or CAN receiving will be happening. Will not be configuring any mailbox number or any memory section of a message buffer for CAN transmission or reception. We will configure a buffer, and only on that buffer our CAN transmission and reception is gonna take place. Okay, so it is like first come first out basis. Whichever CAN data which is detected first or transmitted first will be stored first in the buffer, and that will be read or written by the MCU correspondingly. In the case of reception, it is called as RxV4. In the case of transmission, it will be called as TxV4. Now, FIFO buffer implementation is also different in SOC to SOC. For example, in some controllers, there is only RxFIFO. There is no TxFIFO, like in of NXP S32 K1 and K3 controllers. In some, there are both TX and RxFIFO, like those of Infineon and Renesas automotive controllers. In Now, in some controllers, FIFO buffer and mailbox are at different memory spaces of same message buffer. So, even if you use FIFO buffer, mailbox count is not affected. Okay, because they both are at the different memory spaces of the same message buffer. But in some controllers, FIFO buffer and the mailbox share the same memory space of the message buffer. So, if we enable the FIFO buffer, the certain number of mailboxes are occupied by it. So let's say from 0 to 5, first 6 mailboxes are occupied by the FIFO buffer, and then from the remaining 6 to 32 we can use. Also, in the from 6 to 32 or the mailboxes, the configuration of message ID filter table has to be done. So the thing is, like in some controllers, FIFO buffer and mailbox are at different places, so the both of their count and the number of available count and the memory is fixed even if we enable both of them. But in some controllers, it is they are lying on the same memory space, so mailbox count decreases if it uses the FIFO buffer. Now over here I have shown you an infographic by which that if we enable the FIFO buffer and we are using mailboxes also, so how the memory space is gonna look like. Because in the case of FIFO buffer, only we will be needing a message ID filter table, and if we are using the message ID filter table, so it is gonna occupy more mailboxes apart from that occupied by the FIFO buffer. So FIFO buffer occupies 0 to 5, and if we are using message ID filter table, so by default, it is controller specific. So message ID filter table, as we enable mailboxes count, it will be used. The space of the mailbox will be used by the message ID filter table to fill the message IDs. And after the message ID filter table finish up, after that the mailboxes which are remaining we can access that. As FIFO mechanism is mainly for receiving, we configure which all message IDs we want to via FIFO buffer via message ID filter table. So there is a message ID filter table, okay, in which we will specify, okay, message ID 302, 402, 502, or we can add more. These message IDs should be accepted. So if any canned external data of these message IDs matching to these would be receiving, so that message ID data would be written on the FIFO buffer. Okay. And so now what is message ID filter table? So message ID filter table is a memory space which is created in message buffer only if we are using FIFO mechanism. Okay. Now what is acceptance criteria? So in the message ID filter table, okay, we can write one message standard message id, we can even write two message ids, we can even write the range of message ids that should be filtered out. So that comes on the acceptance criteria. Now let's just understand and relate the stuff in terms of the FIFO buffer. Okay, so when we are using FIFO buffer and when we are using the FIFO mechanism, in that case we just have to specify what all message IDs will be writing on the message ID filter table, and a message ID filter table will be configured with all those message IDs. So first of all, let's understand how this thing is done. Okay, now there is a function config rxv4, okay, which is gonna configure the our message ID filter table. Okay, so we are first have to find the message ID filter address, memory address, and then we need to write all these message IDs over that address. So now let's just step over. So it is first of all gonna get the filter table address. Okay, and filter table address comes out to be 0x4024E0. Okay, this is according to our message buffer configuration dependent upon SOC to SOC. Okay, so E0, and now over to this addresses our message ID filter address would be written on. Okay, so now yeah, and we are using have used the format A, that is only one message ID has to be written on one element of the filter table. So that is the format A, what is it is being referred at. Okay, now you can see over here our message ID filter is message IDs are being written on the filter table. Okay, total 8 message IDs, that is what is gonna be written, as we have like initially for this demo code configured the 8 filter elements. Okay,